on the lawful enforcement of the law. It is also the law, Right Honourable Speaker and members, that for one to be charged with a criminal offence, that offence and the punishment thereof must be expressly provided for in written law. Those arrested are accused of various breaches of the law, including the alleged illegal use of military gear by some of them. Charges known to the law will be preferred for the courts to determine their cases. In addition, working with the military and other security organs, it will be proposed to publish for information their gazetted uniforms as well as other gear which are ordinarily the preserve of official uniformed forces. Also, working with the EC, guidance should be given to all the players regarding lawfully permissible conduct during this exercise. Last, rules of engagement and SOPs that guide the security forces in the conduct of public order management will be disseminated to the operating forces to enhance their awareness as they go about their duties. But also, unsaid is the background to this, and I think we need to ask the hard questions. We need to have a candid, brutal conversation on this idea of what is reasonable conduct, what is permissible conduct. I think we were all treated to that video that ran wild of people in military formations, and I knew it would attract consequences, both intended and unintended. So I think going forward, we may need to engage as security and all the players on how we go forward to ensure that we have credible electoral processes. Right Honourable Speaker and members, government commits to ensure a clean and safe electoral process in support of the EC. Those arrested will be presented in court, and any excesses reported, investigated and dealt with as appropriate. The journalist whose eye was injured, called Miracle in Nsambia Hospital, gladly is being discharged, but I've been briefed by Honourable Bahati and I want to thank him for visiting him. We shall meet the bills of his treatment. I beg to submit.
Honourable Mhosi has said, and has instructed me, I visited the journalist called Miracle, who works with Stop TV. It is true he was injured, and there were some limited operations on his face. The good thing is that his eye, according to the doctor, was saved. He's out of danger as we speak, and he has been discharged yesterday. And on behalf of government, I promised that we are going to clear the bills. He also had a complaint that his camera was damaged, but in the meantime, we have agreed with the Minister of Internal Affairs that the bill will be cleared by government. So I extended our sympathies, and I will continue to pray for him for quick recovery. Thank you.
For members, yes, it's true. In all this, there are always innocent bystanders. If I can, I wouldn't want to infer the guilt of the others, but certainly we shall verify, even reaching out to the journalist and find out how he was injured, who was responsible, and then we take appropriate action.
I want to inform General Muhoozi, the Minister of Internal Affairs State, that yesterday, and as of now, there's a video running around. There's a Ugandan resembling one of the JAT, and people were almost going to kill him, thinking that the one was beating people in Kawempe. This is a common phenomenon in Africa. Sometimes some people say I'm resembling also you yourself. And if you commit an offense, I might be the victim or you might be me. But for you are lucky, you have safety with your security guards. This is the situation, Mr. Speaker, we are facing. But now, when we are here, the Minister for Trade, who was acting as government, lead of government business, denied knowing anybody who was beating people. The processes of bringing people to book, summoning them, is within the hands of government, not the opposition. If there is any offense committed by a national unity platform, at any cost, it's you to bring them to book. But here we are. we are having soldiers beating civilians with no sufficient cause. Why? Because from the word go would start from there. Who deployed? Honorable Minister. You could tell the country who deployed and why. Because we should start from there. And it is not difficult to find out that happened. But how is the situation now? Have we gotten other bad incidences? So why I'm raising this, I want us in our debate, if the situation now has calmed down, then we don't again put in fire. Honorable Chiba.
Restore hope in Ugandans and say maybe it is regrettable, this was uncalled for, we are investigating, we are going to do something better. But according to your statement, it's as if everything is normal and what is going on is blessed because you blame the people who were arrested. You can't even tell us those who participated in beating. You beat a younger girl, you pull a younger girl on the road. Right, Honorable Speaker, it's very regrettable.
Just first ask two people here before Honorable Ross. Honorable Minister, I understand the Electoral Commission, you had a meeting with the Electoral Commission. Oh yeah, security forces were. I would want to hear from you. I don't know whether it's you who attended or your people briefed you, because both sides were invited. So you don't have any information on that, on what you agreed? Okay.
Can he give Ugandans? Right, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for giving room to debate this particular issue. This morning, I was on talk show. Literally, NRM, if it will ever get any votes in Kawempe, I want to tell you, skeletal, the community is bleeding. Why have we decided to militarize something which is for civilians? What is your fear? Why have we decided to make election to appear as it's war? Do we want to take this country into anarchy? We have had enough. Innocent people are being beaten. Can you imagine? Media is the fourth estate. The fourth estate has lost an eye. We can happily sit here and say the treatment will be covered. Can you imagine? Really? Do you know what pain is in a person who has lost an eye?
When this similar incident happened in 2021, Mitoma lost 3 young men who were even not part of the group. 2 were hawkers of nuts. They were buried in Kabila. 1 was from Izumo. It was during campaigns, and I was there to campaign. I was almost lynched when I mentioned the name. NRM, they almost lynched me because they were bitter with NRM by that time. So I'm requesting that we put a stop on this, because we are nearing the elections. What is going to happen when everyone is campaigning and nobody is even there to stand for any? Thank you so much. We need to put a stop on this.
For granted, journalists, because first of all, you know that the pay for journalists is very little. So when someone is injured and then you go there and then you're buying a new camera and then you're paying the bills, you think that is enough. I don't think it is enough. And secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, I heard the minister the other day saying, oh, they should be taken to court as individuals. But these people are in masks from head to toe. You cannot identify the person. So how would you go to court? How can they be accountable when you can't even identify them? It is very saddening, it is very heartbreaking, and I think the government should reflect on the things that you're doing. Even the people who didn't know about the brutality of this government are angry. Some people are not talking, but they're really boiling. And one day, Right Honorable Speaker, this whole bubble will burst.
The JAT people wanted to kick my private parts. It's only that I had the background of the ghetto in Ibwaise. If I didn't have tactics, it would be another story as it is now. When you look at the clothes I used that day and you look at them, you can't believe that it's a member of parliament that was harassed the way it was. The ladies were in court on Tuesday with Honorable Sambo Shabe. when you look at the way the ladies were beaten, others lost their backs. Yes, they did. Others, when you look at their faces, they were brutally brutalized. Why are we doing this? The kidnaps going on as we speak now, Right Honorable Speaker. An American citizen called Charles Bukenya Mubawala, the Vice President for UNA, was kidnapped.
Wrong, okay? If you're a member of parliament and you are caught right in the act, they don't need to leave you to go and then come right back to the speaker summoning you. No. Okay? From there and then they take you and then we start following up. Yes? No, I want you to know, please get me clearly. Because you're going to be a member of parliament, we can also be thieves, by the way. So you go to rob someone's home, and when they come to arrest you, you say, no, you first go to the speaker to get permission to arrest me. So there are incidences when you are taken right away. But that does not mean, yes, I'm telling you, that does not mean that I'm saying that our MPs shouldn't be arrested using the usual methods we use. I remember the Honorable Sewanyana, the Honorable Segirinya, they were sent someone through here. But where you're caught right in the act, Honorable colleagues, that won't apply.
Stabbing my head, Right Honorable Speaker, since I watched the news that a prospective member of parliament can come from nomination and is pulled off a motorbike, thrown onto the ground. Right Honorable Speaker, we have a history as a country. We cannot afford to see this happening in the NRM government, where we all rejoiced and thanked the president for liberating this country. Who are these officers? When I heard the police, the spokesperson for Honorable, I'm a former Felix Kulaije, speaking and saying they don't know these people. Now, how can people have guns, have sticks, beat up Ugandans, and nobody is arresting them? And they continued with this even the next day. I have raised the issue of officers covering their faces. If you are not criminals, why are you covering your faces? Why don't you want to be seen by the Ugandans? Right Honorable Speaker, I want to request we moved away from the governments that were not democratic.
The practical solutions we seek are fed by the processes, the roles, and the balance of rights and duties that you have talked about. So I think it's good to have this engagement, but follow up with it with a more concrete engagement between security, but also the EC, around the EC, and all the players to talk about and find solutions to these issues. Every citizen has a life that is sanctified, so I want to disagree with my colleague, Honorable Joyce. It's not just journalists, but also everyone, whether journalist or not, should be treated fairly before the law. So I want to allay your fears. There is no bubble, but in the unlikely event that it is there, the pressure points are being pricked by this discussion, and we shall together find a solution. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And
Okay? To use your platforms which you have outside this house, provided for under the Constitution, from IPOD to all other parties, to engage on these matters, so that you engage with the principles. Because what was in Kawempe is really undesirable. It's undesirable. It's totally, I don't know how someone can be provoked to crack someone off a border, someone who is from being nominated. Me, in fact, I said, maybe this candidate is being campaigned for. I said, indirectly, you know, but it's very, very bad. It's what was there. It's very, very bad. So I urge you, please.